Welcome to Mix LA here in beautiful Tarzana. Thank you for coming out tonight. I hope you enjoyed our little video clip. They just threw that together with some photos and some of those songs maybe you might recognize. We're here today for one reason and one reason alone, to show off these plugins that I spent many moons putting together. But on a quick side note, I'd like to introduce very important, most important part of our night tonight is that my wife Nancy and daughter Grace Louise are here tonight. I'd like to give a round of applause to them. This product would not be possible without them, because through their support is where this talent comes from. This is my assistant Keith Armstrong, who's helping work on this product. We try to just come up with, I had someone just take some pictures that I had laying around, and I made a little audio edit to show just a couple of the people we've worked with, kind of give you a little highlights reel on some of the things we've done in the past. But today we're about the future. I'm all about the future and what you can do with it. So for all you Pro Tools users, I've spent a solid year coming up with what's the easiest plugin I can create that takes everything that I like to do and put it in one plugin. Inside that room, I have an SSL console, outboard gear, reverbs, all that stuff that I've collected for years and years that I mix with. I don't necessarily think you guys have all that stuff, but now you do. So what I really tried to come up with is something that I could be on the beach with my laptop, slide faders, and say, wow, I want to be able to have all this in one plugin. And Wave said, it is not possible. But you know what I said? It is possible. So through the designers of Waves, I said, look, you can make this happen. I want to make this simple. I don't come from a technical background. I come from a musician's background. I want to pick the guitar up, plug it in, and go. I don't want to hear about all the stuff that has to go on. The biggest problem you guys run into with Pro Tools is you want to bus, you want to send, you have to drop plugins on. In order to do what I've done here, you would have to have like 8 plugins, sends, returns. It'd be a huge pain in the you-know-what. Right, Grace? All right, good. So we're going to start out right away. I'm just going to give you what these things are designed. Does anyone use these so far? They've been out for a little while. So we have a few users out here. So they already kind of see what we're trying to go after. But I'm going to explain it really simple. I wanted to have a box that can do exactly what I do on my console and have the flavors I have on a console. And the important part with Waves, being the great company they are, is I actually used Wave plugins. This isn't some guy that said, oh, just come up with something cool and we'll make a plugin out of it. I find myself using the plugins all the time before we even met. So it's actually working with a product that I actually like to begin with. So to culminate something from scratch was really cool. This is completely built from scratch, taking bits and pieces of all their products and making one that didn't like suck your computer down to nothing. Because that's usually half the problem. But the great thing is now with computers, all running off the engine of the computer, it's kind of all about how many cores you have. Not that we're running a 16-1 now, but it's about having one with lots of that. So the concept is you have bass, you have treble, compression, reverb. The drum one has a gate, and input and output controls. And on the drum one, you have a very important thing. You have a phase flip, which is yet another plugin you have to deal with later. So what I did is make it really simple. I'm a fader guy. I'm not a knob guy. Okay, you can see the knobs in here, but you know what? When you have a mouse, how much fun is a knob? Kind of a real drag. But a fader, it's really easy when you use a mouse to ride a fader. And I've made these momentary buttons that give you the 3 flavors I want. I wanted to just say, you know what? These are the flavors, and here's the amount. This way it's simple go-to, drop it on every instrument that you want, and then instantly you can have the sound you want. And through the presets or whatever, you can culminate, make your own thing, start from scratch.